Good morning. My name is Ryan Rassi, and I'm the Business Development Analyst here at Synology UK. The aim of today's webinar is to introduce and highlight the key benefits of the key packages of your Synology NAS, which can allow you to set up a remote workplace, which is essential in today's environment and has become indispensable in the recent months. This is a recording of a live webinar that we demonstrated. And here's the agenda for this morning. So we're going to discuss the challenges of remote working, as working from home can cause employees to struggle with accessing files, as well as hinder productivity. Next, we'll go over the three key applications that I'm going to discuss in this webinar today. So we have VPN Plus, which allows for employees to access company files and the intranet. Synology Drive, which is your own private Dropbox in the company's premises. And finally, Synology Office, which is Synology's equivalent versions of the Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Excel files that are used to be used in the traditional office. I'm also going to be having a live demo for each of these applications. And to summarize, I'm going to be giving you the tools on how to set up your VPN and how you can utilize Synology Drive. I'm also going to elaborate further on Synology Drive and show you from an admin's perspective and how you can control how people can synchronize their files. So we'll be heavily focusing on software today, so I'm going to start with a brief recap of Synology key milestones. Synology is currently celebrating its 20th anniversary, so we used to mainly focus on OEM systems, but have now focused on becoming a complete NAS manufacturer, from compact units on a desktop to large-scale rack-mounted enterprise units. Today we have about 1,000 employees worldwide with several international locations. This ensures a worldwide impact. And our focus is very much on customer service, sales, and product management. So 65% of our employees worldwide are developers, which means that our focus is very much on the software. And in addition to service, this is what distinguishes us as a NAS manufacturer from the competition. We'll have even more enterprise units this year, so stay tuned. Each of our NAS systems runs its own operating system that we developed ourselves. It's called Disk Station Manager, or DSM for short. The operating system is accessed via the browser and therefore operating system independent. So it's available whether you use macOS, Windows, or Linux. Our DSM is also very intuitive, and our online help pages can help walk you through each individual step if need be. In a DSM, there's a package center, so this is a bit like the App Store on the iPhone, and here you can download the desired packages or even applications and install them on your own NAS. There's over 130 apps, and these cover 5 key areas where most of these apps are actually free. So, in particular, we cover 5 key application areas. There's data security, next generation file server, virtualization, multimedia, and finally, surveillance. Working from home has always caused a bit of controversy in the past, and even before the pandemic, more and more companies were approving home offices in recent years due to digitalization, and the trend has already been towards looser home office regulations. Well, due to the current pandemic, things look a little different, and the need for a home office environment has accelerated in demand. At the moment, most people working in companies with the appropriate technical facilities have already moved their workplace to the home office. But on the other hand, there are so many companies that are not technically capable and are now forced to digitalize. And that's the whole point, because companies will have to expect this measure to continue in the future. But it's much more important to think about how the working world will change after the crisis, no matter how long the situation may last. The former attitude of managers towards the home office is rather restrained because the biggest concern has always been that employees are underproductive and have less motivation to actually work. But this concern is of course understandable, and with certain measures, every single employee can create the individual conditions for a successful home office. But before we get to the technical side, I'd like to introduce a few challenges of working from home. One such challenge from working from home is, for example, accessing older files and systems in the company. This includes a CRM system, ticketing system, or the internal wiki. So an example of this is if you and a colleague are working on a PowerPoint file and then you're both adding a lot of detail, but then when it comes to one of you saving, you will overwrite the other person's work. So this can cause a lot of unnecessary hassle and lost work in the end. And this brings up another issue about data security. as when processing data in the Home Office, there's an increased risk that third parties, such as family members, can gain unauthorized access to personal data. Such dangers can arise, for example, if outsiders directly perceive sensitive data, gain access to data carriers with sensitive files, or obtain information on how to gain access to that protected data. And the specific measures that an employer must take to ensure data security in a Home Office include in particular the encryption of data and securing the transmission paths. These last 2 points of working like you in the office and data security brings us to our next item on our agenda. So we're going to be discussing the VPN Plus server, Synology Drive and Synology Office. First of all, it's the VPN Plus server, and with this we can not only guarantee the security of data, but also offer numerous functions that allow us to work from home without restrictions. This is just like working on site, and VPN Plus is part of our Synology router operating system and can be used on our Synology routers. So what is a VPN? The abbreviation VPN stands for Virtual Private Network and describes a closed logical network. The participants are physically separated from each other but can access the network via a secured or encrypted tunnel. In order to set up this secure tunnel, a VPN protocol is required first, and with this VPN protocol, the user establishes a connection to the login server in the company. With the help of the server, the secure tunnel is then set up and the communication can no longer be read outside the network. The use of a VPN has several advantages for commercial use. So you can set up a company network if you're on the road, at home, on a business trip or anywhere else, and the location-independent access provides a high degree of operating comfort and ensures a high degree of flexibility when working. Common standard functions of a VPN and accordingly included in VPN Plus are the following. So we support all essential protocols such as OpenVPN, L2TP over IPsec, and PPTP. These protocols are essential to secure communication. For example, the L2TP over IPsec is highly beneficial for mobile phone communications due to the 256-bit key. These included a free version of VPN Plus, so that means that no licenses are required for the use of several simultaneous connections. VPN Plus is also a powerful tool for monitoring and managing connections in real time. For example, we can immediately detect unusual network traffic and suspicious users. In addition, VPN Plus supports authentication via AED and LDAP and ensures smooth integration into existing infrastructures. When it comes to working from home, one factor can be particularly annoying, and that is long access times. Well, VPN Plus tries to mitigate this with several solutions. On the user level, guaranteed individual bandwidths can be provided for each user, and on application level, we can manage the VPN traffic depending on the device and the application. For example, we can set that employee devices have high bandwidth for SMB file transfer, but low bandwidth for YouTube surfing. Or we can specify that only traffic to internal destinations can go through the company VPN and not at all through YouTube or Facebook. This application level feature is only available to Synology SSL VPN client, which falls under the more exclusive features of VPN Plus. So the exclusive features of VPN Plus include SSL TLS encryption. So this provides a higher level of security for your corporate network, which is especially important when working with sensitive data that you're accessing from home. However, connections using Synology's own SSL VPN client are faster and more stable than the standard VPN protocols mentioned above. You will need a client VPN license for each additional device with simultaneous access, but the good thing about this is that once it's purchased, the licenses are active forever and there's no monthly costs. SSTP is another well-known VPN protocol, which is developed by Microsoft. So the special thing about this protocol is that it's difficult for firewalls to block, so you don't have to worry about not being able to establish a VPN connection if you're on a business trip or in a hotel. And also this works with companies that have travel to countries with restricted internet. So the third point is that not every employee has a work laptop to take home, but with the remote desktop function, employees can access the work computers and the software installed in them from home. This enables employees to work from anywhere and at any time. Another practical example would be if you have a high-performance cutting or video editing computer in the office running licensed software. The license for the software is quite expensive, so you don't want to really purchase a separate license for each employee. However, through the remote desktop, you can therefore access these computers from home and use the software and performance of the computer. The final highlight is the Web VPN, and this allows you to easily access internal web-based applications through the web browser. So let's have a quick look at the interface now. So here's the web VPN interface, and the web VPN itself is especially valuable for employees who are not technically proficient and those who do not have access to a private work laptop. They can easily log in via the web browser, access internal services. By entering an internal URL, you can access your company's private website. For example, you can access the internal CRM system in a secure way directly without a client. And this applies to all the internally running websites, such as an asset system, ticket system, internal wiki, or intranet for news in the company. Now, for employee access, the administrator can set up the company's internal web-based services under this default tab here. So this can help employees who are new to the interface easily find common services which they use in the office. Users also have the possibility to visit marked websites and save them in the starred section for private access later. So now I'm going to show you a quick demo and how easy it is to set up the web VPN. So first of all, we're just going to enter an IP address of our Synology router into the web browser to get onto the Synology router manager system. Here we are, we've clicked DNS server on the left hand side, and here we can edit the settings and create more resource records. So there's the create button in the top left. There are a variety of types that you can create, but we're going to start off by creating an A type. And here we just fill in the credentials. So I'm just going to enter in a name and an IP address. Click OK. And now I'm going to restart the Synology router and then log straight back into the interface. So here we're in the package center, and I'm going to download the VPN Plus server application. It's there in the main menu. I'm just going to open it up. Here we click on Synology VPN on the left hand side, and then we click on Web VPN at the top here in the middle. Here we can enable the Web VPN, and we can enter in a custom Web VPN prefix and our self-earned domain. So I'm going to enter in my self-earned domain, and here in the middle of the page you can see you can access the Web VPN via that URL, which has changed in real time whilst we've added it in. So, but when we try and get in the Web VPN, it says our connection isn't private, and this is because we're the missing certificate. So, back in the Synology router, we can click on Import Certificate, and it's right there. So we just click that button, and we can import our certificate, and click OK. So now, when you go back in the interface, it will look like this. So we can enter in with our credentials and log straight in, and this is the interface. So if you enter in a URL here, this can take us to internal services, and I'll show you how you can make this a portal. So we click on Web VPN portals and click Add. Add in our portal name, so it's meeting room booking, and this portal address. And then we can also specify allowed users / groups, so you can easily segregate this for certain departments. We're going to show this in the default portals and add a customized portal alias. So now if we go back in the Web VPN, it should be there. And here we are, and there it is, right there under default. So we can click on it and easily get straight into the services which we need. Now I'll show you how you can star items so you can get back to them later on. So we'll enter in another URL here, and we'll click connect. And say this item's not going to be in the portals, we can easily just star it on the right hand side and click the star item, and there it will stay there permanently and under the starred section. So that was the Web VPN, but now I'm going to show you the SSL VPN later on. So not all internal systems are web-based. For example, a CRM system or accounting program may run via the corresponding computer client. So therefore, you'll need a high-performance and secure VPN client. I've already mentioned the Synology SSL VPN client, and I'll show you just how easy it is to set up. The client's available for Windows, Mac and Ubuntu, as well as a mobile app for iOS and Android. As already mentioned, licenses are required for multiple simultaneous connections of this client, but SSL VPN is brilliant because it allows for a more traditional way of accessing, but it's still very important as it allows people who want to edit something remotely an easy way to do it, and we also implemented it to offer the best level of security. So we'll go through the key settings and I'll show you just how easy it is to set up the VPN. So if you click on the VPN Plus server and click on Synology VPN, you can easily enable Synology VPN there and set your custom encryption levels right here. And then you click apply when it's done. Now you can choose who has access to this SSL VPN from the permissions page. To use the SSL VPN, users can log into the web portal and select the SSL VPN tab under Web VPN. And there you go, there's the download button. So once that's done, you'll be asked for a PIN code for the first time once you connect. And this is just to enhance the security of the VPN and prevent connecting to a malicious VPN. And now you can click connect to start using. After connecting, then wherever you are, you can use the internal resources and LAN services just like you were in Office. As I mentioned before, SSL VPN is also supported for mobile devices and users can download the app for iOS and Android. Now after installation, you can configure your SSL VPN access URL, the port, the account username and the password to connect. The VPN Plus server also allows IT admins to easily reveal network traffic in the last 2 hours in the overview page. Now this allows you to easily identify any unusual spikes, such as when a user reports a slowdown in connection speed. In the connections page, which is on the left hand side, you can also check the connection details or detect a specific time period right here. You can also drag the slider to select a specific time range. Now the user connections can also be interrupted immediately if abnormal usage is found in the online tab. You can also configure more options for end users in the permissions page and can choose to limit the VPN connection speeds or block VPN access to specific IP addresses. Now I'm going to go over multi-site deployments. So for companies with branch offices in multiple locations, site-to-site VPN allows them to share resources across different networks through secure IPsec tunnels over the internet. This eliminates the need for employees to configure individual VPN settings on their computers. Now it's also validated by Microsoft Azure. So with the gateways, you can achieve a hybrid solution which combines the on-premises and the virtual networks. So here's a site-to-site VPN case study, where a small to medium-sized business in France with over 8 offices had utilized Synology RT2600AC to access their printers via the IPsec tunnels with the VPN Plus server. This saved them a lot of time as they could remotely activate the printers. And in light of the pandemic, we're going to be offering free VPN Plus licenses to all Synology router users from April the 6th to September the 30th. The background of this is so that we can support companies with home office employees, and licenses purchased for free during this time will remain active forever. And now I'm going to show you if you want to access the NAS system without a VPN. Well, for some applications, a VPN isn't practical and not absolutely necessary. So a mail server or chat program should be accessible from anywhere from outside anyway. And with our Synology NAS systems, we have 2 options here. Either set up a dynamic DNS address or use the free Quick Connect service. In this case, we're going to assign an address to the NAS and connect to the mail service, chat service, or the NAS itself from the outside. So Quick Connect can help us here, and it automatically searches for the cheapest connection and saves us an incredible amount of setup work. The first step in establishing a connection with this service would be to check whether the client is in a local company network, and the last step is done via our relay servers, and these forward us via a secure connection. And then after this, we can log into the service with the appropriate account name and password. This connection is done via HTTPS, And the same applies if the connection is made via the relay server. The data isn't cached but forwarded in encrypted form, and you can also customize these steps. So if you don't want to use the relay server, then you can just disable that step. Now I'm going to give you a quick demo in Quick Connect and show you just how easy it is to set up and log straight in. So here we are. I'm just going to type in quickconnect.to as the URL and hit enter. And here we can just simply enter in our Quick Connect ID that we set up on the NAS and click connect. And finally, it's just the same username and password that we specified last time. And that's how easy it is. So Quick Connect also detected that I was in the office on the same network, and due to Quick Connect always searching for the fastest route and the most direct connection, it's completely skipped the relay server. So that was VPN Plus, and now I'm going to go over Synology Drive. So Synology Drive solves a lot of problems, and I'd like to give a short introduction to Synology Drive and then get into more detail in a live demo. Synology Drive is your own private Dropbox, so with conventional cloud storage providers, your data is held on their servers, but with Synology Drive, everything is on your premises with your NAS, meaning that no third party has access to your data. So the key features of Synology Drive include it's free to use with no monthly recurring fees. It's available for use on Windows, Mac and Linux, as well as iOS and Android mobile apps. You can sync on demand, so that your most frequently used data is always available to be accessed and copied to the NAS. And you can see all your files in the sync folders and have them streamed to your desktop when you open them. Finally, Site to Site allows for companies that have branch offices to keep selected folders on different NAS systems in sync. So this allows, for example, international news providers to access documents from the original offices without causing duplicated or conflicted files. So Synology Drive consists of several components and is a successor to the Cloud Station application. Synology Drive allows for file access to be done either through the browser or through the client for the PC, where the access is done classically through the network drive, and even through the mobile app. The file transfer can take a variety of VAR protocols and adapt to your environment. For example, in an internal network, access can take place via SMB, and from the outside via HTTPS via the file browser. So Synology Drive thus provides a synchronization platform for all our clients, and this gives field service personnel or yourself in the home office lightning fast access to your data. Synology Drive also allows you to synchronize Synology NAS systems by yourself, so this has the following advantages. Imagine your company has multiple locations and all these locations access a single NAS. Now we'll have different bottlenecks that can affect performance, such as internet latency. By adding another NAS at a different location, you may think that now if you're working on-site at the company at location A, that you'll now have to access the data at location B via the internet. However, if the NAS systems sync with each other with a schedule via Synology Drive, then we have the possibility to access the data at location B locally at location A. So this can save an incredible amount of time. And another advantage of having two NAS systems is that if all the employees access a single NAS, then the hardware technical performance requirements of the device automatically increase. So this can be mitigated with an additional NAS system, which can give you the extra benefit. As with two NAS systems at different locations, you provide further redundancy and thus an additional level of security for your data. Safety is also a major focus in Drive, so on request, we can version certain folders that we share. So all the documents within these folders can have up to 32 versions. Alternatively, you can use the Drive client as backup software only. So in this case, the Drive client doesn't synchronize, but only backs up selected data from the PC to the NAS. This is achieved through activating one-way sync from the client to the NAS, and then using regular backup such as Hyper Backup to add redundancy. One of the most important aspects of effective collaboration is document collaboration, so this is where Synology Office comes into play. Now you can work on these Synology Office documents with your colleagues in real time without the worry of saving over each other's work. You can also see who is in the document and who is working on what. Finally, Synology Drive is also convenient for IT administrators as it's very easy to set up and manage. The admin defines who has access to which groups of folders and can see everything that happens in a drive, such as who is deleted and shared. But how do we only ensure that the files which we need to are synced? Well, our engineers have taken advantage of a feature made in Windows 10 to enable on-demand sync, integrated inside the Windows File Explorers. So this means that we can reduce the utilized bandwidth, as well as save space used on the hard drives of computers trying to sync with Synology Drive. And before Mac users ask, we have this in our roadmap for them by the end of the year. So now I'm going to demonstrate 2 demos of Synology Drive of things that they can do. So file synchronization cross-platform is going to be shown, where I'll demonstrate uploading a file from the home computer to the Synology NAS and then further edit this file in a mobile app. And then afterwards, I'm going to demonstrate to you how you can exclude users from uploading certain files. So here we are on the desktop, and here's my article which I've created. Down here, you can see I've set up two-way sync between the folder on the right to the NAS system. So here's the NAS system, and I'm going to refresh to show you that I have not uploaded the article yet. And here's the inside of the document. So it's just a picture of a NAS, and there's an article on it. So I've got a headline and the contents. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to just sync right over. So I've dragged it in, and now I'm going to have a look on the NAS system to check. So I'll refresh it, and there it is right at the bottom. So now I'm going to show you how you can utilize this further to edit this file on a mobile app. So here we're on the iPad, and at the bottom here there's a Synology Drive app, and here's that exact same folder which I mentioned previously. And there's our file about 3 from the bottom, and it's the exact same document. So now I'm going to go in Microsoft Word and show you how to edit it. So here we can tap on the Files app, and on the left we have the Synology Drive app. So we click on My Drive, and this is that exact same folder. At the bottom here is the article, so we tap on that. And here it is, we can edit it and use the full functionality of Microsoft Word. So I'm just going to circle over this, and I'm going to resize this image as well so it fits within the circle. And here I'm going to perhaps make I'll make SSD bold, and I'll make DX517 underlined. So now if I tap back, it will update this file. So now on the NAS system, it should be all synced over. So let's have a look now. So here we are on the desktop, and here's our article. So I'll open this up, and there you go. All the changes have been synced pretty much instantly. And this is really useful, as if you're working on the move, you're traveling somewhere, then you can easily work on these files from anywhere and at any time. So now I'm going to demonstrate you how you can exclude users from uploading certain files. This is really useful for IT administrators. So from an IT admin's perspective, I'm going to show you how you can enforce certain rules and file extensions. And there are some pre-made settings for ease of use, so you can stop users from taking advantage of the storage for their own private files. So on the left here, we have a movie in our documents folder, and on the right is Synology Drive. So this is that synced up folder. So here it is again. I'll just refresh it to show you I haven't uploaded the film yet. So how do you stop a movie being uploaded? Well, I'll show you right now. So if you click on the Synology Drive admin console and click on settings on the left, then we can set up a user sync profile. So we'll click create, and we can specify a name. So I'll call it no video. We can specify a maximum file size, and I'm going to untick video. So that means that MKV and MK4 files be excluded. At the bottom there is file extensions, and here I'm going to set it for all the users. So now I'm going to click apply, and then click apply in the console right here. And here we go. Once we've received this message, it should all be set. So we'll go back in the desktop, and we'll try dragging over the movie. So as you can see there at the bottom, it says excluded, not synced. So that will mean that the file hasn't been synced over to the NAS, we'll check, give it a refresh, and there we go, the movie's not there. So our rule worked, and you can enforce this for a multitude of file types. So you can do exe files as well, and this is great at stopping employees abusing the company storage for their own use. So we've just seen our Synology drive allows for a powerful synchronization between devices, including mobile devices. And we've actually made Synology drive a powerful portal, merging web portal features from the file station, as well as our online collaboration tools such as Synology Office. So these make working collaboratively possible on a pure private cloud, removing the need to rely on a service by Microsoft or Google. So Synology Office is an equivalent version of Microsoft's Word, Excel, and PowerPoint applications. So Synology Office brings the power of these online tools and makes it available as a private cloud solution for better data confidentiality. Synology Office is a private cloud, so you can enjoy the convenience and usability of public cloud services, as well as the data security guaranteed by private clouds. You can individually encrypt your confidential spreadsheets and documents to acquire advanced protection, and this encryption is done with granularity, meaning that the files are encrypted before they're saved, and this can be handy to hide further characteristics, such as the metadata. The inbuilt version means you can navigate through all the revisions made in projects with team members and restore any previous version with just a click. And the Synology chat plugin allows you to conduct quick discussion whilst working on documents, as well as by leaving comments to boost productivity and achieve effective collaboration. The Excel, Word, and PowerPoint files can also be converted into spreadsheets, documents, and slides on Synology Office, and vice versa. So, VPN versus Drive versus Office. Which scenarios will you use one over the other? So, with the VPN, you can access the files remotely and access company services. You can also use the remote desktop to access your work computer, and this is useful to simulate a working experience at home and make a familiar environment for employees. So the scenario for this is if you have licensed accounting software on your work computer and you want to access this at home. So to do this, you can simply remote into your work computer. Synology Drive allows you to easily synchronize your files, so you can use versioning to recover previous edits and easily sort and filter with labels and files. You can also easily share these files with a password protected link. Now, this also allows you to keep different Office branches to keep all their folders in sync, as well as activate either one-way or two-way sync. The scenario for Synology Drive is if a design team wants to work in a high-resolution file with minimal latency. And finally, Synology Office allows you to collaborate online on documents, spreadsheets, and slides, and you can use this chat plugins to enhance the functionality. Synology Office also allows you to navigate the past revisions made in the projects and see who has edited what. And the scenario for Synology Office would be it allows you to easily work on a webinar presentation collaboratively and communicate in real time. But how do you choose the right Synology for your setup? Well, with the BPM Plus server, it's available on two routers here. So we have the RT2600AC and the MR2200AC. The first one only supports a maximum of 10 site-to-site VPN tunnels, whilst the later one only supports 4. Each site-to-site VPN license is priced at $9.99 for every VPN supported Synology product, and every VPN Plus supported Synology product is eligible for a one-time 30-day free trial for the site-to-site VPN feature. And with Synology Drive, we often get asked what has the biggest impact on performance and what to look out for when choosing the right unit. Sometimes it's assumed how much data in a Drive database would be the most important, but actually, it's the number of files in a database which has the biggest impact. So, here are all the packages that I've discussed so far. I've focused on the packages that help you access data and files, but these packages form part of our all-in-one home office solution. So first of all, I mentioned the VPN Plus server, and that allows you to work just like you're in an office. And the Synology Drive in Office has just been demonstrated for effective collaboration. So that was the agenda, and we've gone through the VPN Plus, Synology Drive, and Synology Office, and I've given you key scenarios which shows that they can help benefit your business. And thank you for listening to this webinar. Hopefully you stick through to the next ones, and I hope to see you more in the future.